Hi people, Night Voice here again. I was just reading on the internet, latest news out or come out this afternoon sometime. Our former Prime Minister, Mr Rudd, who's now the Foreign Minister I think, mentioning about if we withdraw our troops from Afghanistan, would increase the threat of terrorism. And what's he mean by that? If we withdraw our troops, it'll increase the terrorism threat. Does he mean here in Australia or worldwide? I mentioned before in a video the other night, I think it was, about who these terrorists are. They're not who we think they are, or who the majority of people think are terrorists. I think inadvertently Mr Rudd is sending a signal to everybody about not fighting terrorism, or if we don't keep our terrorist activities up. And that's basically what we're doing, and all the other foreign troops in these countries are terrorising those countries. And like I mentioned, these people are retaliating the only way they know how. So who are the real terrorists? A union president in Victoria, I think, was on the radio the other day mentioning about 9/11 conspiracy theory. He was cried down by the radio station, or the host of the guy that was doing the program, basically made out to be an idiot. That's what these people are told to do. Media will only tell you what they want you to know. Doesn't matter what it is, whether it's television, radio stations, anything. That's what I keep saying about the internet. The internet is absolutely fantastic because you get all sides of it and you can make your own mind up. Now, there's been thousands of questions asked about 9/11. Hardly any of them answered. The one big question that I've always thought about is why all the steel and all the debris from 9/11 was taken out of America. It was taken offshore to some island somewhere. No one was allowed to test it for explosives or anything. It was just carted up, taken away, no questions asked. Something pretty shonky. Like I mentioned, who are the terrorists? And here our foreign minister is talking about if we pull out of Afghanistan that terrorism will only increase. The threat of terrorism will only increase. I think what he's saying is that if we don't support these terrorists, namely this one world power, this one world government that are creating all these things throughout the world, is that something will happen here in Australia. Plain as day. Our Prime Minister was talking about in Parliament about this guy that mentioned about the 9/11 conspiracy theory as being stupid and wrong. Well, it's about time they woke up to the fact that the terrorists are the very people they're working with. That makes us terrorists. The Australian Army, Australia, we're supporting these so-called fight against terrorism. But where are the actual terrorists? You know, look, we go way back to bin Laden. Now everybody knows, or everybody should know, that the CIA, which is the Central Intelligence Agency, I think it is, that's what it is, in America, he was funded by them to go in there and train up the Afghanis. Basically, I think, to fight the Russians. And now they're called terrorists. I say again, we are the terrorists. All the foreign troops that are in these countries are the terrorists. You know, you can go way back to Vietnam, when they fabricated this attack on one of their warships. You know, Iraq, supposedly to have had nuclear or chemical weapons or this stuff. Iran, they're talking about having nuclear, well, they want to build nuclear warheads or whatever. You know, these people just dream things up to, like I said, to create chaos and destruction around the world. And it's all about power, money, and taking us all down. And now our government is getting heavily involved, more and more every day. I've mentioned before, get our troops home, forget about everybody. If you take a look at the Swiss, they've always been a neutral country. Nobody ever attacks them. Nobody ever goes in and has, you know, there's no terrorist attacks. Nothing happens. Because they're neutral. Why are they neutral? Because that's one of the centres of power for this one world government, this one world order. You know, Swiss bank accounts. Put your money in there, safe as houses. Put your gold in there, safe as houses. No one's ever going to attack it. Because that's, like I said, that's one of the hubs of the controlling power of the world. That's why they never have any hassles. So it's about time everybody, like I mentioned before, wake up and realise who the terrorists are. I mean, our foreign minister has more or less just indicated to us that that's the case. We pull out and things may happen in this country because we're not supporting these terrorists. That's my feelings. Night, boys. Catch you later.